I can't even blame Sliggy for this.
No.
There's literally no one to blame.
You could try.
I'll be back in the Slow Club soon, just absolutely in pieces. You know what? Maybe he'll be sick.
I'm here for it. Again, if you pull out Harbor and you're just going to absolutely dominate on Pearl here on the decider,
right?
Backs against the wall, then yeah, I'm here for it.
The game devs are there going, please, guys, make it look good.
Somebody's on the payroll from the dev team.
They've absolutely been funneling cash over.
It's one of the most diverse composition face-offs I think we'll see this event.
That is a way to put it, Michael. I like that. Oh, I think I say following that statement will be good. So, let's see what they're up to. A little bit of a double hit through art, basically. Leaving one over towards A-Long. Crunching in. I think it'll be Berlin on the receiving end. Now, Prowler's going to note. Oh, the dog's going to note at least one.
Oh, we've got a set piece.
Here it comes.
The wall's gone up.
All right.
See the pressure comes through here. Berlin looking to get a little aggro on the back side of it, but no information spotted either side. I think Luzera even taking
30 seconds left.
a shot or two on the end there. Very passive hold initially, but it's a free plant for Carmine Corp. Say that, Scream down to 5 HP. Luzera isolated on site right now and pinged up.
He's 100% spotted in this as well. The good flash, though, tries to play him out of it, but how much more can he do here? Tries to take a fight, the dash comes in. Great shot, but better trade. This is all effective for FPX still. And keep in mind, Scream still 5 HP. Overwhelmed and overrun at this point. Scream still down so low. He needs the 1v1.
No!
He's not got it. DZH. Composure kept. Final found, round on the board.
I mean, with this wall here, again, I can see that they want to set up for this comfortable post plant towards Art, but at that point, when it's completely uncontested, plant for main and Art. Maybe a slight adjustment required here, but maybe it was the tag that comes on to Nuzera that he's conscious of planting there towards default. It just cuts off so many possibilities. Yeah, I mean, the second shot.
Yeah.
It's 5 HP, TZH. Still clipping him on the edge of the box there. Well, no, actually, another adjustment there is Scream to be the first to swing with the 5 HP.
Yes.
Almost bait for the second player, but FPX on the board here.
XMS, yeah. Oh, Berlin, okay.
Buy one, get one free for Berlin.
It's the crosshair. I swear to you, whatever's happened, he's just... Ugh. Turn it on. Now, look, I don't want to get ahead of myself because it's still quite early. It's only the first round here. But again, I didn't think we'd go 3 maps. I didn't think we'd see Harbor. I'm a bit worried.
I mean, after the second map, I got to say, I was a little worried considering. Oh, Navera, again, doubling down with the Sheriff, but Constellations and nothing more. YU, once again, we noted, obviously, in the previous run through with our economy early on to try and get the operator in his hands. This one not looking as good as a previous FPX round 3.
No.
2 Spectres, a Sheriff, and the scope for YU. So we've got to see Carmine Corp really stop the momentum.
Yeah.
The last time Scream didn't play a duelist in his series was actually against FPX, obviously. Ooh. The previous roster, well, a long time ago, 2020.
Look at the stack here. Nuzera and Navera both charged with this. I don't know how much more they're going to get away with. No, nothing more. So, found Navera, but is it recoverable? You can see TZH is thinking about it. I get the old orb. Fancies it. And Shin's found him, so
worth a shot.
Valiant
try and
attempt.
get the rifle.
Yeah, absolutely, why not? Now the last 2, it is Marshall and a Spectre, so maybe I need to be a little more worried. Yeah, just a Marshall. Oh my God, just a Marshall. And it's a 1v2. Like, this isn't impossible. No flashes yet. Now comes back into pocket. Has to give away the game. Gets revealed. The timing, maybe a second either way, could have been different. But only 2 alive is not perfect, and one of them still got a Guardian. Yeah, damage done, and you're right, XMS. Yeah. Only a Guardian to hold on to here. Probably going to give that across to, or tried to at least. Nobody wanted it. I don't think I will, actually. Just a Marshall.
Last player
I almost thought as well that was a tag onto a second player, which would have made it doable for Yang.
Yeah, that could have been certainly a different account then, yeah. You're
Unfortunately, does get pinged by the reveal. Look to try and flash on the back of that, but the wallbang comes through. Proactivity once again.
Oh, look at this commitment.
Heavy investment outside A. Actually, over the top, Wahoo looks to try and dig a little deeper, find something with that Blade Storm.
I wonder if they only saw one of those players then. I didn't know if the second quite crested the corner. Still pretty telling. But again,
I'm interested to see as well the comparison with how slow, we talked about it being a slow burn on Haven with that composition. Now with the Jet, whether or not there's a pace change that, again, completely flips the script for KARMINE Corp in terms of expectations.
It certainly could be the case. Scream testing the waters by middle. Noting nothing off the back of this as well, as you can note for ourselves. FPX sitting quite deep on this, not particularly willing to challenge early on, not giving too much over to KARMINE Corp here.
The other thing as well, it does kind of throw things off kilter with no Sentinel on the side of FPX. These early round protocols to deal with some utility aren't there for KARMINE Corp, sorry. So they have to dig to try and find a first blood, and actually finally do. Shin will find the open onto a Yang. Wahoo still creeping around with this Blade Storm.
Oh, needed.
Oh my God!
XMS.
Yep, closing that one out.
Clean work. It's fine if they win the round. TZH and...
No wonder he wanted to get rid of that Guardian so bad.
Please, someone take it away from me. Yuchun, TZH, not really gifted many ways back into this round.
Hold on to the rifles, honestly, yeah.
But this, it's stabilizing for KARMINE Corp because, again, I just can't believe we're in the scenario for them. This has to be confidence building now. They have to kind of feel like, at one point walking into this, they were a heavy favorite.
But that's the other thing as well, to come out in that previous map win, to now have the opportunity to switch the pace up with the duelist in the composition. Again, it's FPX in the driving seat, right? They can dictate the tempo, even on the defensive side here on Pearl, which we've seen a couple of times already. This aggression outside A main, there's a number of times that KARMINE Corp have been stacked behind it. They will tie up two apiece. Take a look at the ultimates outside of the Blade Storm, obviously invested already. TZH and Berlin not too far away. Thank God for the slow-mo on that one.
Yep, needed that. I still just want to see what FPX start doing. The money's so unstable at the moment that we aren't seeing them fully able to purchase too much. Want to see how it starts looking with that harbor coming into place. It's not really turned my head just yet. It's been somewhat functional.
Let's look towards the possibilities here in terms of shutting down this earlier aggression, right?
Yeah.
Whether or not we do see that employed. Start round, actually, I'm not sure how TZH has found that kill. It's all the way over towards boxes here by the orb.
They just spammed before the utility came in? Yeah, genuinely uncertain, but it looks like a second attempt could have been had there, but no, decides against it.
KARMINE Corp peel away from me. I'm not sure if that rifle is going to become retrievable at some point, but FPX looking to explore towards Art here. As three, a Yang to balance that at double doors as well.
No, it's a dry swing, and it's actually worked out well enough for a trade.
Spike
one for one. You're right, Spike down, and they're going to smother this. They're going to get involved. Yeah, taking over the space. TP, going to get it back to hand. That's big, and they already seem to realize that. You already got the Seekers coming out as well. They're going to be heading over towards that B site, so very indicative of where this is going now. Zaddy for Berlin, only that Sheriff. Last time I said, only this happened. Apparently any weapon in hand is fine. Now slows the roll, buys time for rotation. They can't crest that corner comfortably now.
Should have a decent understanding of where they are, and these smoke's going to expire pretty soon. FPX actually closing this one out, and just two rifles bringing into that. The first blood, again, we didn't see exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
But KARMINE Corp forced into a rotation. Nevera luckily having that TP online to retrieve the spike, but felt a little flustered there in the rotation. There was, again, an unorthodox swing.
Oh!
Okay, now we saw how it happened.
I have to once again credit how much I'm enjoying watching FPX being hyper proactive. Everything they do, even if it's with, it was a shoddy buy last round, they still try to get in towards middle. They try to, dominate the extremity there, quick rotations. I love it. And this utility intention behind it too. Taking over map territory, taking over space.
And what's interesting now is, again, Wahoo's not actually got the operator online just yet, but if they continue with this A main pressure, it's going to actually force them towards that operator.
Yes.
Over on B side, Nivera actually the one to have the scope this time around. Some opportunities here to play retake, at least with that Cosmic Divide as well, which is why I think we see why you play a little more passively here. Happy to give up sight. Have two big retake ultimates actually with Berlin.
There's one coming through. That should catch maybe two players, but it's the pacing which has happened. Shin is on the hunt. Wants the player down, shot in hand, just trying to close the gap. This is so scary. Who sees who first? It's Shin. And now we're down to just 3 remaining for FPX. To try and find any avenue back in, but these ultimates are being poured in, connected. Great trades again. Shin is so pivotal to this round.
A beautiful hold there. A little late actually on the investment of the Cosmic Divide with no real presence towards site just yet, but KARMINE Corp making the right decision to stand their ground on site. We'll tie things up 3 apiece. Now I'm interested to see, with that operator in play now, how diligent KARMINE Corp are on the approach towards B.
Yeah, timeout now being called. FPX. Deciding it's time to maybe adjust a little. Again, I like their opening work.
I don't think that's necessary, yeah.
No, I'm actually still pretty happy with how they've been playing. I like that early A main control they've been going for. Maybe they just feel need to touch base. Maybe the coach is feeling they've noted something. I don't think they're particularly being outdone just yet. No,
I mean, like I said, the other side of it is forcing KARMINE Corp towards B or towards, obviously, double doors and R, which with that 3-player stack towards A site, could be very problematic for them. It's timeout almost. I mean, I feel like give KARMINE Corp an opportunity to think a couple of things over. Shin already having a standout performance here on the decider. 10-3 leading the charge for KARMINE Corp. Not blown away by the Harbor just yet.
Nope. It's not.
I'll be the one to say it.
You're brave. No one else would. Yeah, it's certainly not. It's not doing anything that any other agent couldn't do. It's not showing me anything new. If it's just simply comfort, I mean, fine, but even then, it's a bit of a stretch.
I mean, that would be a concern in itself. Nuzera hasn't exactly felt comfortable through this series, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's not, as I say, it's not hitting anything for me, but I'm looking at a pace change to an extent here, and a different look from KARMINE Corp coming straight out of this mic, straight up middle.
And Nivera again finding value with this operator.
I know exactly where
Full theft will go in. Yeah, and see KARMINE Corp look to respond on the back of this information immediately. Now they're going to read that YU is obviously anchoring towards B here. Invest some smokes, a little bit of utility from Nuzera as well. But YU's going to hear these steps, yeah.
Yeah, you can
already see the ping coming through on the minimap.
Yeah, comms being made. Screams lurk. Interesting to see what he gets out of it.
Yang,
could be timing.
Does he check this?
And they could pause for this, you know? Yeah, that's so much heard. They are actually pulling the plug on this hit off the back of what Screams heard.
There's even Nivera showing presence there.
Scream does get seen here. It's like he's completely free.
He's so paranoid here. You can see the pings on the minimap. They're conscious. Somebody still in dugout or secret. Somebody tucked up in A main. So we're going to have plenty of time to get through here and find the plant.
Work this back out pretty quick. Yeah, Scream though sitting towards Pit. Still willing to take a fight towards TZH and wins that one out. Not going to find the follow-up just yet. And the others, I wonder if there's commitment behind this. There is an operator in hand, so it might be a save here. Great audible call.
Flips the question back on FPX of whether or not they try and find some early round value off this operator. So they're just not seeing it. Concern being as well, they're going back towards that site the operator's on. Scream stuck in that lurk. No flashes available. Almost requires that dry swing from Nivera to try and challenge that. So lucky not to see that go amiss either way. KARMINE Corp will take the lead though, find their fourth. Don't think there's going to be a purchase to scrape together here for Berlin and TZH.
2.8 and 2.4, yeah. But as it stands, stringing a couple of rounds together now. If we talk in bigger context, which we try and do throughout these games, FPX leading with those pistol rounds at the start, certainly buffering out the scoreline. This is good from KARMINE Corp to at least keep this one building back in their favor after a couple of rounds that certainly were worrying, certainly did catch our eye, but they found some solution. They found something that's working for them here.
First time we are going to see a challenge towards B long here. Or maybe not, actually, just a little investment in utility. The knife as well to go through. Denial of information early on, and KARMINE Corp looking to creep through double doors here. Yuchun dealt with immediately. These challenges coming through much quicker from KARMINE Corp now. Actively looking for these openers. Previous with Navera, here with Shin.
The pressure coming through middle as well. This is going to need so much more than that. Yeah, you had to have hoped for it. Berlin not finding the shot he wanted either. KARMINE Corp winning out all of these fights here.
Well, Spike's all the way back in spawn, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
So we're in a deathmatch lobby right now.
Just gonna wait until
FBX are probably thinking, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah, why have they not?
They've pinched mid. they've got
They've won the round, and why are they not winning the round right now? Well, you know, things have changed since franchising. Things are a little different, you know. It's still fine though. Gonna control the site, and be it delayed or not, probably gonna have a similar outcome here. A 2v5 is maybe a little out of reason. They might even try and hunt this down, looking at the money now starting to swell. YU going to be able to keep hold of the operator for a little bit longer. No rifle until then. Okay, so they do at least get a rifle on TZH. I wonder if they can keep both of those. That'd be a little bit more of a prized possession.
Rivera eager to try and find this kill. Dropping the X-ray off. YU still finds it. Operator removed. I don't think it's really going to cause any problems here, but Shin has slipped the net. Would have heard TZH in mid. Yeah, and YU not considering it. So actually, FPX to lose the operator.
No charges.
A Vandal in the hands of TZH. No Blade Storm available, and now actually the cracks starting to show. And that bank balance for FPX. KARMINE Corp stretch their legs a little bit. 2 rounds separate them.
Yeah, once these buys have started to become far more robust for KARMINE Corp, this has started to feel a little bit more procedural. It's not as exciting as map 2. And I kind of thought it would be the other way around, if I'm completely honest. The newer maps would have suited potentially FPX here, but they looked far better.
What's crazy is this smoke from TZH actually denies the information from that flash sent out by A Yang. I'm not sure if just a little mistimed there, but he's going to know, obviously, with the presence shown, the utility invested. Nivera creeping closer and closer with that operator, but lucky actually that A Yang doesn't swing onto it. I felt like it was a little isolated there, honestly.
Yeah, no one quite holding the angle close enough that would have been able to punish it, so yeah. For now, halted. Respecting the wall enough.
So cautious of FPX just pulling something funky out of the bag. Demonstrating real restraint.
Face your fear.
Okay, all gonna once again potentially only find one at the back of the site, but they still have not noted the one player still in the corner. YU. Anything more? No, just gets to keep the life for now. And actually it's A Yang to connect, so first blood drawn, and now we're at the 30-second marker. That hesitancy is making me a little worried.
30 seconds left.
Why you get a second shot at this with the Sheriff? Again, the timing on this utility is just so difficult for KARMINE Corp to counter. Shin tucked inside this cage, will actually find one
Shin!
and the second. Huge from him to open this round up for KARMINE Corp.
Absolute heroics from that man who's been pretty much a saving grace through some of these early rounds for them. It's not without a response, still 3v3, but the weapon sitting so favorably to KARMINE Corp, especially in this post-plant. How are they going to disrupt that? Navera not going to allow it. Already going to find the first, so TZH trying to attempt getting towards that spike.
Yeah, Yuchun just waiting for a little bit of this toxin cooldown to rebuild to try and get a tap on the spike at least, but the reveal going to really make that difficult. Doesn't even need it. Shin gonna find his third.
Yuchan with a desperate attempt. And an exit. I've got to say, for me,
Shin
Shin
firing
is
up.
absolutely carrying this game to no end.
Some really influential rounds from him, still
17
leading the
to
charge
3.
for Carmine Corp.
Take him away from the equation. I don't know if the scoreline's the same at this point. Genuinely.
FPX will be able to get the purchase back here. Operator in hand for YU, just about getting back online with some of these ultimates as well. I might see a little bit of a switch up on the attacking side here. Now that FPX have given up on this A main aggression, countered a little bit, reposition of the operator for YU. He's posted up in mid here, so it's a fairly all-in hit towards A main. TZA is just going to look to play off the util, but
Oh, the
look
drift
at
back.
YU drifting into mid.
They're coming back towards him. I wonder, maybe not an operator if they did decide. I wonder if he has a step, anything?
What's this on the back of XMS? Is he reading this? Like, nobody's holding this with the operator. He's got to be somewhere else. Be conscious that they're not aggressive outside A main. Could be the operator playing deep from A site.
Yeah, I guess some of the indicators that have been quite telling prior are
yes,
missing. And I think
very
that's
polarizing.
a really, really good shout there. I think Carmine Corp have absolutely read this correctly if they wanted to go for the safest route. And yeah, it's Berlin on the other side, at the back of the B site. Just going to make sure. A couple of players have tried to slip through over by the screen there. Not going to get it this time. By all accounts, it's looking safe. The rotations will be in, and Berlin, what? How is no one double checking on this? Berlin was noted earlier on, and mistakes being made, maybe a little bit of confusion, but FPX with a punish! Yuchan out of nowhere finding 2. And even Navarra almost irrelevant to outcome considering he's posted alone. The flank's already being watched and potentially wrapped on.
And this is crazy to consider as well, because it's Berlin this time left
10 seconds left.
to hold on to this site completely solo. Just at the right time, getting information. Stands his ground for FPX. We'll find them their 4th. And Carmine Corp fairly healthy in terms of the finances here.
I still can't believe that's the outcome. Rolling your mind back to the great read that they had at the start.
Yeah, great read, yes, but the operator wasn't actually confirmed, right?
No.
So they have to run through these protocols
Of course,
once
of
again
course.
in the next round. I'll see, it's actually, that could be one of those situations where Carmine Corp could potentially walk into a trap. FPX
Yes.
will be able to force an error very early on in the round. Because Navarra's not necessarily playing very aggro with his operator.
No, we haven't seen him kind of being the playmaker as such, more a safe approach. It was kind of why we liked it with the Ampi. You'd have very polarizing operator styles.
Not noted on the knife either here, so he can creep once again.
My ult is ready.
There's 4 members of FPX on this A side of the map.
Yuchan,
I was going to say, is Shin going
Ooh.
to spot this?
hold on, timing.
There's the Vandal to deal with it, actually. YU
Still?
does ring off a shot, so it
Yeah.
is noted now. Carmine Corp look to react on the back of that. Trying to plant the seeds of a fake towards A site. Spike not committed just yet, but they're trying to fake both
counter
sides at the
Seekers.
same time.
Yeah, this is going to make it incredibly difficult now. The only bonus is the Seekers are still en route, and there is one of them heading up towards that A site. Will eventually tilt through that side. Just about cresting that corner. So you can see the YU is checking for someone just leaning towards the A site. They noted the 2 off the initial double Seekers that went through that way. So this could be a decent
He's in
read.
such a good spot to pick up information, though.
How deep do they clear it? Oh my
Nuzera?
word, Nuzera! So diligent in clearing that so deep as well.
30 seconds.
Brilliant work. I don't think a step was heard. I think just really good foresight towards this.
I mean, it's 25 seconds, though. They have to make a move. Look at where the spike
The
is right
spike's in
now.
spawn. And if there's a
Yuchan's
little bit
got himself
position.
a little dirty spot in that pocket once again.
It was used before, though. I think YU played that as well, so they are aware of this possibility. But they have to make a move. It's 10 seconds. They have to go now. And there's the initial bit of utility just to try and play delay. And they still don't know. They're just spotting the corner. And a fumble coming out from Carmine Corp after a fantastic read. They've run out of time. And they've run out of options.
I mean, that's a really frustrating round to sit back and watch because it takes Carmine Corp an eternity to figure out exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
But FPX, like I said, Yuchan gets himself into that That little rat spot.
Look, they know exactly what they had to do.
Yeah. At that
Brilliant.
point, like I said, we always say this. When the clock runs down, it comes down to just one kill, one key tag, one key piece of utility.
There's no time to recover.
Nope. And you also sacrifice a body because somebody has to stick the plant.
Yeah, you're already a player down. If you look at it that way, you're absolutely right. Frustration probably from KARMINE Corp here now. But at 5-6, still leading. Lovely Navera. Such a treat to watch him on the operator, starting to read the opponents a little better now.
Why are you getting a little antsy now? Desperate for that value, but Berlin
Didn't
doubling
expect
down
follow-up.
on this. Navera will trade it out quickly, so it's a 4v3 for KARMINE Corp. But again, next 20 seconds or so, I want to see a plan. I want to see them setting up towards a site. They've got Shin posted up towards A main. They're going to know that it's a looser hold towards this site. But don't give TZH a 1v1.
No, that guy is good. Like, he's been solid as a rock. And this time, the other two players, Yang, Yuchen, are on the other side of the map. The flash, actually, if anything, could spur this on, and the ult to boot. This is a lot for TZH to deal with. Just above the wall, does get away with his life. Still going to keep himself in this one. Can he slow down the hit coming in? He is smothered. There is 3 players worth of utility being invested towards him, but he's still standing. The plant's going to come in. He's held towards Pit. They have lost out towards R. This is still a big uphill struggle for FPX in this round.
Yeah, they can reset here, though. Vera just trying to plant some paranoia in the backlines with that TP, but everybody from FPX will be coming through from the same side here.
Oh.
Viper's Pit will
Like, that
cover
will
the
reach it.
spike as well, yeah.
Anything to counter that, really?
The reveal from Shin, maybe, back in 5 seconds.
Flash didn't actually get Navera. How did that not get Navera? I thought that was perfect. And now we're down to just one. TZH, the man who started this, will on to fall at the end, but it will be still a very close half.
Ayang's been robbed with that flash.
Yeah, there's...
Felt perfect on the outside of the Viper's
Fair.
Pit. Shin, 18-6. Outstanding performance from him on the decider here for KARMINE Corp. Again, a solid game all round so far from FPX.
I would say in my mind as well, the pistol round is huge.
Yeah, I
coming
mean, credit where credit's due. Why are you unable to find a lot of the value that he did on Haven?
up. Yeah.
So in that regard, we do have to credit the early round, or the IGLing actually from Scream in terms of figuring out some of these setups.
Well, plenty more to see, plenty more to find out as we are leading in towards that final half here.
Definitely another scrappy half there between two, well, incredibly scrappy teams, besides Shin, by the way. I just want to give him all the credit in the world. Yeah. My man's out there slaying like a god. But there really were some unique things and ideas, I guess, presented here by KARMINE Corp.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Harbor and what they were doing with it, because even though NewZero's only like 2-9, 3-9 right now, he was actually involved in a lot of their game plans. So when you look at how he was using his utility, using Cascade to get room early on, and then he's put the wall up in multiple positions. This one just allows them to deny some information over towards double doors. Yuchen doesn't know what's happening. He's worried that someone could have got into the middle of sight. And then this is a really crucial one, using the Cove to be able to get different plant spots. And this allows them to play late because you can't deny the plant as easily, and it allows them to play their plant in positions where you wouldn't expect. So on B, for example, it allows them to get a very safe plant tucked behind the box. They can play out in the open, and that's really important because KARMINE Corp's composition doesn't have any good post-plant utility. And here we see another thing, the ultimate just being used to stop some of these B retakes from happening, and those B retakes had no chance. The B retakes had no legs from FPX, they weren't getting the value out of the operator, and things became very difficult for them.
They really did. Yeah, I think the Harbor usage probably not the first time we'll see it as well. There's a lot of teams that are experimenting it, just in the off-season itself. But some interesting usage, honestly, even though, like you said, scoreline wasn't too good for him personally. But looking ahead, I'm going to be taking a look at YU actually as an individual. And Pansy and Hypop made note of this as well, you know, a bit of a fall-off, a bit of a drop-off compared to the last map of his own individual performances. But I think, honestly, a large part of this was the fact that KARMINE Corp were doing a good job of avoiding it with the operator, and the fact that he was an absolute nutcase of how he was playing with the operator. The man was like pushing into mid alone over and over and over again. But one of the things that I mentioned as we were heading into Pearl was that I was looking forward to FPX's attack side, and it is YU who's going to be the spearhead of their attack side of them taking space. So I'm anticipating if FPX are to win this, it's got to be off the back of him and his individual play.
Well, we'll see how this all plays out. Let's go into that second half and send it back over to your casters.
Yeah, plenty more to be seen, hopefully. We are keeping our eyes trained on what a couple of these players can achieve now going forward.
Absolutely, and Bren's nailed it for me. I was talking about Haven being what should be a slow burn on that attack. Now they got a little bit of bite, a little bit of pop to this composition. So, yes, a quiet first half from YU, but all eyes on him now to be the driving force for FPX. Wow.
Shin.
Shin continuing his success for the first half already.
I mean, if you're talking about driving force, he is absolutely maintaining that role. Shin has been outstanding for KARMINE Corp, even, excuse me. Considering he's been just start to finish in this.
I think YU's actually eaten a shot as well from the Sheriff there.
It
Now
looked
46
on him.
HP, yeah. He was looking to just dash in with his frenzy. It's going to completely slow things down. Scream's got to be careful. He might still get caught there. Just stand his ground.
Yeah, I really thought he might get some bailout from Nuzera potentially, but they were able to just filter straight through. No real pressure coming in. And the timing, it's devastating. Ayang must be gutted in this after that. Just as he got the flash to hand. There's just too many in front of them.
And what's interesting to note, Yuchan obviously investing this wall to try and deny any support coming through from B site, obviously into that link area. But it makes it difficult to really re-hit. They're trying to isolate that angle on towards connector. And obviously deny the space outside Art, but Shin, man, what a step up to this stage to deliver this performance here on the deciding map for KARMINE Corp.
And not one of the players I would have put there either. If you look at the roster of Nuvera, Scream, XMS, some of the big names, experienced names, him finding his form here, as all of these games are elimination games, is fantastic. Giving them enough lead after what's been quite a shambolic run so far. If you're looking at them as a favorite, it's one of the heavy hitters. And now we go back in. Purchase working so far.
I want to see what this attacking shorty for Ayang is going to get done.
You a big believer in this?
Yep.
Full faith, can't wait. What a treat. Oh. Well, we are waiting patiently to see a really fine value here. Still not found it. B-site, 3 players waiting for anyone to come around. There's the flash. Didn't quite go deep enough either to catch more than one of these players, but it does allow him on the site and does do a little bit of damage. But it's Nuzera to go farming and Scream to put on a highlight reel.
Couple of taps to close out the Prime Gaming flawless here for KARMINE Corp. Absolutely the start they were looking for in this second half. A decent buffer towards the finances here. A real ult progression to write home about. See if this remains as calm and collected throughout here for KARMINE Corp. Once again, eyes towards YU. 6 and 10 here, bottom of the scoreboard for FPX. There's a light armor behind this Vandal here. Rivera giving a couple of attempts at this. Does find a tag onto Berlin, but not a massive amount of damage. Similar approach once again. It's actually Yuchum and YU, the two that were disconnected on that default on Haven. It's the same approach once again here on Pearl. 4 members of KARMINE Corp rotated over towards 8. Scream now just drifting back towards connector.
The timing on this. Yeah, they've just had 2 players get past. TZH has no idea this could even be possible. And the first challenge, unbelievable!
So good. He is so good.
Mechanically robust as hell. No indicator they've gotten that close either. Just great intuition on this.
So the rest of FBX will funnel through Art. Double smoke up. XMS not really going to have a say in this one with just a Sheriff and a Marshal to work with. Scream creeping up towards mid, but this one looks fairly comfortable here for FBX, aside some heroics.
Yeah, these positions aren't really allowing for much. XMS, yeah, he'll get the first bit of attention. If he got the second, I'd be paying attention. Now Scream did well before with this, but it's probably really exits, if anything, but you have to just purely look at the individual TZH there. That was off the back of one player. Could
be huge if he does find some, force some of these repurchases.
Are they all exiting this way? I think they are, yeah. Timing.
It now, we'll find the first, but Yuchun, good for the response. Luckily, nobody getting caught by the spike either. So 3 rifles across.
It's not bad.
Why use anywhere near that Blade Storm just yet, but we'll throw a rifle in here.
BYB fam.
Will be a
Boy's
Guardian.
acting up on the desk. He's making noise now.
You're welcome.
That is a disgusting round from TZH.
Yeah.
Like you said, just relying on pure mechanics there. No information of 2 creeping up that close.
The fact he checks, like, I don't know, beyond my means by a country mile. As it stands, though, Operator still into play for Nevera. This could be the first time we get to see this truly tested here.
Now they avoid the knife. A massive over-rotation from Carmine Corp. We'll actually hear the Prowler coming down regardless. Nevera on that Operator time and time again, finding value. Berlin will fall. Taking away some key utility for this B site hit. Looks like they might even follow through on this.
Yeah, see if the commitment's still going to follow. Nevera is just a safe player. If you want to call him anything, it's so safe with that. Scream there to back him up as well, so they've already doubled down on that initial pick. They do have a play towards the back of the site, though, and so what we wanted to watch is YU. See how much he can achieve in this. Removing Nuzera is it's not the be-all and end-all. I'm looking for the rest of these. Still going to find more. Nevera goes down. Scream unchecked upon, and you can't leave him unchecked. Him and Shin do damage right back in, leaving just Yang left alive in a 1v2. No opportunity to bring it further forward. Yes, damage achieved, but damage now doesn't matter against double digits.
No, FPX needed that round to really keep this a close affair in the second half. We only have Sheriffs to throw at this one. It's Nevera again with that Operator. Repeating what he's done before. I gotta say, in that front, facing off versus YU, definitely won out in terms of the value discussion for that Operator purchase. Beautiful cleanup here.
Getting pumped up now. But Flash not too telling of the indication here that Scream and Shin are going walkabouts. They're feeling it now. They're feeling confident, and rightly so. The only response so far is YU flying out himself, but it's just a brawl in middle. That is it. It's just bring what you can and take a battle.
I mean, equal trade-off if you consider the damage and a couple of weapon upgrades here for FBX. TZH will retrieve that Spectre. Carmine Corp already making their way over towards A site. It'll be Nevera and Scream to pick up the slack over here. But Nevera just considering the possibility of a flank, so might pull him a little deeper, especially considering he has that Operator.
You are divided.
Actually going to split Nevera and Scream up, but Nevera finds a collat. Berlin and YU will fall. It's just TZH to try and recover this now.
He's just unreal. I was going to say, this guy he's always good for one. He's your safe Operator player. He's perfect at it. He'll get one fallback, pain to play against. But now starting to maybe feel a little flashy. Gets a little discount on that frag, gets another one for free. Beautiful work. And it's, again, something that I've wanted to look at for a long time is how far does Nevera go? Because, again, yes, he looked great in Liquid a couple of times. We're seeing him here. Maybe this is the time that we start seeing that brilliant shine. And, again, nothing flashy about what I see in this player, but he's just perfect positioning. Great timing.
Quietly consistent always with Nevera.
Yep.
FBX going to call the timeout here because we're in the third map. And this almost feels like the do or die round. This is Carmine Corp's access to series point nothing left in the bank here for FPX. Obviously, Bladestorm burnt up in the previous. Don't have that to offset a purchase. Yuchel and Berlin 2 away, respectively. KARMINE CORP with a stack of ultimates to work with. Shin 1 away as well. And just to come back to him, fantastic performance across the entire day, honestly.
Yeah. And when we talk about, you know, big stage experience and stuff like that, he's certainly not a name you'd put in there with, you know, the likes of Scream or Navera to an extent nowadays. Obviously, FPX very absent in that regard, but credit to him for coming out and making the stage very comfortable for
I think
himself.
at face value, when people look at this KARMINE CORP, obviously the two questions become Shin and Nuzera, right? Those are the two kind of additions. Well, I say additions; they were picked up from the previous roster.
Yeah.
So to make that jump to this stage here and deliver a performance like this, when KARMINE CORP needed it in this series,
After map 2,
they absolutely needed it.
there was some worrying scenes after map 2, but yeah, they seem to have stabilized and potentially off the back of him. Now Navera fancying a little bit of that spotlight. Sticking around a little wonker on this one, actually. One player slipping further forward. Got to be ready.
He's tagged and he just doesn't move.
Nope.
It's just... This exploration though, Shin's already out. Nuzera as well.
The angles.
Yuchel gotta find this, but he's spotted. I don't think he knew he was spotted there. KARMINE CORP get away scot-free with that first blood.
The B-site's wide open. Technically, they could just... Obviously, they have no idea of that. Maybe it's a little intelligence or maybe 2 players in middle, but still...
All on the back of XMS putting this deep spy cam. Scream's actually found TZH with the fragment as well. An absolute disaster in this must-win round for FPX.
Yeah, it's starting to go a little bit wonky, unless this... Maybe this backstab's great. I don't really know what they can get out of it. They've got to be so quick with it too. Otherwise, you just imagine they're going to be overwhelmed. YU's going to need 3, 2, something. You got to try and get away. The turn caught in between a rock and a hard place. Nowhere to really go with that. Can't really close down towards short either. And Berlin's flank is good, but it may not be good enough now. 3 players against you. Yes, you can reveal a little bit, but this is the only value of Harbor really at this point. You can just sit on the defuse, nothing to deny it. Shin to close it, and it's 12.
They get the plant, so they'll have that extra couple of funds, but it's not pretty at all. Yang down with a rifle, no armor. A light shield for YU, a bulldog coming through from YChin. KARMINE CORP finally stabilizing in this series.
Took him a little while. That was a big round, and that push middle, brazen. The bravado to do it. And do they go for another test towards the Shin? Looking like he wants to set a little something into motion. He's not alone in it. Yeah, that's a vulnerability, and it's Scream to capitalize on it. Funny Yang is huge. So much of that ability to get towards the sites, to try and facilitate any of these approaches is now gone.
Finally, we see commitment behind this proactivity in the early round. I was talking about it in the first half, how eager KARMINE CORP are to find that opening engagement.
Yeah.
Leaning back on those strengths from map 1 on Lotus, where they dominated the first blood game.
Navera. Deep positioning here. Has help from Art from short if needed. How far does he dip back away from this? Quite far. Okay. Does get marked. Let's stick around and post a couple of shots in the timing. Just not going to find it on this one. But he still has help here. Scream's still here, but they actually wrap around towards Art, and that's the perfect approach towards it. It's a great concept. But it's still a 2v3. Nuzera, Navera. And look at this positioning. Almost 3 of the players willing to fight towards CT, and it looks like none of KARMINE CORP's players are going that way.
Nuzera does have the ultimate.
Full utility almost.
I don't think they're going to read 3 stacking this side though.
No.
Yeah, with the paranoia as well.
It's a very reasonable assessment, you'd imagine. Someone sat for this. Navera's just found one for free, and now, yeah, they cannot see this. And now if they can give it away, Nuzera just has to play, protect, keep Navera safe. That's all he's going to try to do. Halfway on the defuse, they still need more time. YU goes down! Navera! Nuzera in combination. Take him across the line.
And it's so concerning to see Navera sticking to that operator in that scenario, but they get it done. A crucial kill from Navera on default there. Opens up the floodgates